Hello everyone, and welcome to a game that just from that intro I shouldn't have to introduce. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past! Release the balloons! Or whatever. So, I've been, that's just the test save file I made to test out the very real Super Nintendo I'm playing this on. I mean, I have a real one, but I just can't really, record off of it because I'm not a wizard. I mean, it's not that hard, you just need a capture card, but I don't want to deal with that. So, yeah. Anyway, I've been in a bit of a Zelda mood lately. I mean, I've been playing, Twilight Princess a lot. I've been absolutely loving it. Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if it's not going to be my favorite game over this one. A little bit. But yeah, I'm also going to be doing a Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons playthrough. Maybe I'll tackle the, janky Time to Triumph, the janky fan game trilogy. I guess quadrilogy, because there was a fourth one that was released, but whatever. Anyway, just to say, I've played a lot of Zelda, but this one has always been, my favorite. Has my favorite Link, my favorite Ganon, my favorite game in general. So yeah, we're gonna be playing it. However, because I don't want this to be, just another Zelda 1 playthrough like on the internet, I'm going to be doing a challenge, as you might have been able to tell from the title, that I've been doing for a little while now, but I managed to actually refine. And it's going to be a Fighter Sword only playthrough. Now, Fighter Sword only in quotation marks, because you do need the Fighter Sword, at least the Master Sword, to, fight Ganon at the end. But other than that, the whole game, all the dungeons can be completed with just the Fighter Sword, though we're gonna need some help from some very powerful glitches, which I'm sure you can expect if you're, experienced in the slightest with, A Link to the Past speedrunning. Wrong face. Anyway, no. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. Yeah, there's a lot of, older games that I could do like playthroughs of, but I don't want to just do, like vanilla playthroughs of games I've already like played, since that wouldn't be like the most interesting. I mean, for stuff like Mario World, if I want to do that, and Super Metroid, then yeah, of course, but for other games, I do want to, have a little bit of a unique twist if I'm able to. For example, the Mario playthrough, was at first I did, Mario Mode Saturn, so it was, something that not a lot of people have done playthroughs of, I would imagine. I can, like I said, I do want to do an Alucard run at some point, and I could do playthroughs of, the other Castlevania games, and there's not necessarily any, like, interesting challenges to be done there, especially in the classic Vanias, so, yeah. Still, just for this game in particular, I've played it like so many times. Like, it would not be like very interesting to do just like a vanilla playthrough like that much. I mean, it wouldn't be uninteresting, but it wouldn't be very like interesting, really. So yeah, we're just gonna be doing this Fighter Sword playthrough, and if anything, it is like mostly gonna be an internal playthrough. Like, the only like real differences are gonna be that I deal like one less damage with my sword and I never get the cooler swords. But I guess I could get them for Ganon if I really want to. Normally when I do this, I just get the regular old Master Sword. And don't get me wrong, I do love the other swords. I mean, I absolutely adore the Golden Sword, or Butter Sword as some people like to call it. Shut up, Zelda. Yeah, I know, shut up. Didn't ask. Alright. But yeah, like I said, I do like, the Butter Sword. I don't like the Tempered Sword that much. It looks a little weird. Though I guess you could say it's a cheese sword, which, hey, tasty. But yeah, usually, because the goal of this is to, like, have some more challenge, and obviously I'm not gonna go get the, like, stronger swords just for Ganon, but I can definitely show them off at the end. like for fun. Alright, here we go. We got Sword, and our uncle is dead because he is no longer solid. Anyway, as I said, it's gonna be mostly a normal playthrough, except for this first episode, which is gonna be very wild very soon. So the main problem with a Fighter Sword playthrough is, I mean, there's two problems. First, obviously, there's, you know, Aghahnim's funny barrier. I don't think we can see it from here. But yeah, like, so, wrong button. So in the first part of the game, basically your goal is to get all three pendants so you can get the Master Sword. And why do you need the Master Sword? Because Agahnim has his little sparky, you know, barrier in Hyrule Castle that prevents you from just, you know, going straight to him. It's like right above there. I'm gonna go and show it off. But first, best song in the game. Probably the best 16-bit song in general. I mean, there are some contenders from like Chrono Trigger, I think, and, you know, Earthbound, Final Fantasies, but this one is just so perfect. I mean, there's a reason why, you know, everyone like likes it, you know, and Nintendo brings it back in future games. Not that often, but this is usually like the main Hyrule Castle theme. Anyway, yeah, so the first real problem is this little sparky guy, which just prevents us from accessing, you know, Aghanim's tower, so we can just, you know, go kick his ass for killing the king and kidnapping the maidens. Oh yeah, there's a story if you didn't know, but we're not gonna really care. I mean, other Zelda games, yeah, the story is important, but for this one, it's just basically Agahnim. Basically, there's a bunch of like natural disasters that happen in Hyrule. I mean, not really, but like there's, you know, bad stuff that happens, and Agahnim shows up. The things stop, but then he murders the king and kidnaps the seven descendants of the wise men, or, well, the sages, really. Thank you, Nintendo of America, for the censorship there. And then, you know, he basically zaps them to the Dark World. And now the last one that's waiting to be, you know, basically like executed in quotation marks is, you know, Zelda herself. But Link is here to, you know, stop that. So yeah, that's basically the plot. Now, here's where things get broken. We're going to be doing something that is very much, you know... did I pick this right save? I don't know. I think I did. Yeah, I did. So we're going to be doing the very infamous exploration glitch. So you might have seen on YouTube, like, these, you know, complete Zelda 3 in 3 minutes videos. So they basically use this exploration glitch here, which will basically be the backbone for this whole, you know, cheated. Awesome. I'm not on the right tile here. But yeah, it's basically going to be the whole backbone to our, you know, glitchy strategy over here. Now, the way the exploration glitch works is that if you save and quit or you use a mirror when, you know, you're jumping off like a ledge, the game is basically always waiting for you to, like, land. And now, if we get hit by an enemy, like this guy right here, which I'm going to lure right over here, we're gone. Bye-bye. And oh wait, I did it too early. Whoops. I did the same thing like 2 days ago when I was doing it. I was doing a low percent version of this challenge, but whoops. Whatever. We can just leap off. Do it again. So basically, there's a lot of like complicated like tech details with this glitch, but essentially like the most important parts to it is that we basically managed to get under the map, and it's basically like swap really pretty much anywhere on the underworld map, because the way that this game, and also Zelda 1, as far as I know, like stores its dungeon layouts, like they're not individual maps, they're all spread onto a massive like underworld map, as it's called. So for example, you have all the screens of Hyrule Castle in one spot, you have like Tower of Hero in another. They're not necessarily always in a logical like arrangement. Like for example, you have like a massive area for the Ice Palace, even though it doesn't use all of those tiles, and some dungeons are like spread out around. But because basically doors don't really like, I mean, some doors just lead you to like an adjacent tiles, but most of them just like teleport you all around the map. It's kind of wild. So I don't know if I should have armed the EG already. Sounded like not a very good idea, because now we cannot get hit. And let you like walk away. So yeah, now obviously being under the map isn't ideal because you can't really do anything there, but there's a lot of ways to like get back into the map. The easiest one is to like jump off, you know, high ledges, like over here, like I could, you know, jump out. Other ways are, there's some glitchy ways. There's another way where like tiles that have like dynamic, you know, like moving walls, or the conveyor belts in Machula's room, who will be seeing very much later in this run. Well, this playthrough, really. I've been watching some speedruns, so I'm a little I don't know. Yeah. So basically the important part is just that we can pretty much go anywhere, and we'll be abusing this glitch for two reasons. One, to skip the barrier later on, once we'll have, you know, the items we need to, you know, defeat Agahnim and actually survive in the Dark World, because obviously we could go to him right now, but then we wouldn't have the Moon Pearl to, you know, not be a bunny, and we would not have the mirror, so we would be trapped in the Dark World as a bunny. So yeah, we would basically be soft locked. So yeah, not ideal, as you can probably imagine. Anyway, we're just gonna do this, you know, normally. There we go. Alright, now we can get back into Exploration Glitch. So we have Zelda's here, but we're not gonna save her quite yet, because I mean, first of all, she's just gonna follow us around and be annoying, but also we don't need to save her at the moment. Because because the other problem that we have, you know, for a Fighter Sword only challenge, which was one that I usually just, you know, bit the bullet and got the Master Sword for, is that to open level 6 in the Dark World you need the Ether Medallion, but you can only get the Ether Medallion normally by, you know, having the Master Sword and reading the slab on Death Mountain. So yeah, that's obviously a problem for a Fighter Sword only one, especially considering this isn't Twilight Princess, so we can just, you know, re-equip the Fighter Sword after we get a stronger one. But luckily, we're gonna get around this with a very weird exploration glitch usage, which I don't think many people have like used, because I haven't seen any like Fighter Sword, you know, categories or anything. So yeah, also I probably shouldn't do this raw, right? Because, so I'll explain it once I'm actually like there. But you know, you might be thinking, oh, how can we get the, you know, the Ether Medallion with the exploration glitch? It's not in any, you know, dungeon maps, it's on the overworld, and you just, you know, you need the Master Sword and Book of Medora. But for whatever reason, if you defeat a boss in Hyrule Castle, you know, that drops something, it will always drop the Ether Medallion, which I just found by like messing around with the exploration glitch, and it just happens to be perfect, because right next to Hyrule Castle is the Desert Palace. Now, why is that? Also, yeah, this dungeon is over here, which is cool. Now, why is this perfect? Because the moving wall that's right before, you know, the Lanmolas actually kick you out of Exploration Glitch as long as you don't have it activated. So yeah, we're now just in the Desert Palace, and we can just do this. Also, we can't kill this guy, so we're just gonna lure him away. Please come here, Mr. Igor. Thank you. Yeah, the corners are a little bit glitched there, because we still have, like, Hyrule Castle tiles loaded. There we go. Now, I don't really need to do this, like, right now. I could have waited, but to be fair, we're gonna need to do this before we kill Lanmolas, I think. The item might drop if we went here, like, even if we kill, like, Lanmolas not normally, but I don't want to try it, so we're just gonna do it. And now, just for this dungeon, just for this case, we are going to make a save state. Because with the wall active, like, we can't, you know, get kicked out of AG again. And I don't really know any other way to get into Desert Palace without, like, super heavy glitches. So, yeah, we're just gonna do a save for this boss fight. So we feel we don't have to, like, redo the whole boss key thing again. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is perfectly normal, right? Fighting Lanmolas in the first episode in Hyrule Castle, pretty much. Technically. Oh, and they all went for a long dive. Alright. Yeah, we don't want to get hit by their rocks here. They always fire them diagonally, so it's not super complicated to dodge them. It's mostly when they all get, like, clumped into like groups like that you can get hit, like, accidentally. There we go. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well on the keyboard because I don't usually play with. Oh yeah, never mind. All right. Alright, that's one down. Also, yeah, they can't shoot the rocks while they're exploding, while one of them is exploding, so that's good news, at least. And yeah, I'm doing spin attacks because it just deals, like, more damage. Get used to seeing a lot of spin attacks. Alright, now he's gonna shoot in 8 directions, but as long as we time the spin attack right, yeah, we can get hit, but I got hit there. No, fuck. Oh no. Oh no. This is not looking good. Yeah, this is why I made a save, because otherwise we would have to do, like, the whole Hyrule Castle, like, escape sequence. I'm not gonna abuse save states for, like, any other reason. Like, this is the last time we're gonna use them. Alright, here we go. And really, like, normally I just like do the trick in the sewers, but I just armed EG too early and I didn't want to waste it, so yeah, my bad. Because really, it's not too far, but yeah, with Exploration English you can do anything. I mean, you can literally just, like I said, walk to, like, the top of the map and just get the Triforce that way without even fighting anything. So yeah, it's a very powerful glitch, but I just use it for stuff like this. One time I actually made a save. I tried to, like, get as many overpowered items as possible, like, super early, and I pretty much had, like, every item in the game before, like, the third dungeon. There we go. Just don't want to fuck up the timing again. Alright. Yeah, that happens. Usually the best way to defeat them, like, if you're doing this normally, is to use the Ice Rod, because it's very powerful, but obviously we don't have it yet. There we go. Though if I really wanted to, I could have went and gotten it. Oh, alright. Quick kill. There we go. We get heart. And there it is. Alright, and now we can just... And yeah, I think this will actually be a great spot to end off our first episode, funnily enough. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this very different, you know, well, hopefully different Zelda 3 playthrough. What am I saying? If you enjoy, you know, like and subscribe, as always. See ya!